So what we're going to do here is I've got you muted at the moment because I'm going to run through things, but this is probably going to be about an hour and a half, this workshop, maybe an hour. It depends how many questions I get. It's not going to take us too long. If you were here for the forms one last week, then I'll sort of touch on that for anybody that wasn't here. But I'm not going to go into detail, but that will be in the replay page. So when you get the replay link, I'll also put in last week's workshop. So you guys that haven't seen the forms can watch that. You know, because that will help you later to create these kind of forms. So I'm going to run through this. I know some of you guys have seen this from last week, and this is basically these two workshops, last week's and this week's one, are all about forms and funnels. Now, last week I was trying to put it all into one, but I had a major disaster. So we just run it on. And actually speaking to Rakesh, he said you should maybe do it in smaller chunks. But the problem is I see forms and funnels, there's kind of a little bit of an overlap. And sometimes if you do forms on their own, people don't realize the link between forms and funnels. So I was trying to do it in one, but I'll put it on the replay anyway. So last week we created these forms, and this week what we're going to do is you're going to still use a form, and we're going to show you how to actually, when someone submits a form on your page, they get listed straight into the funnel. So they get put straight into the funnel. Now, this is good for two reasons. One, and this is a big one, if you haven't created any of your courses yet, then what we're aiming these sort of two workshops all about really is actually how you can get people to subscribe up. So you can create lead generation before you've actually got your content together. And even if you've got some of your content together, you could pre-sell it, maybe give a discount to get some money coming in before you finish the course. Depends how you're working. When I first worked, I was actually doing a lot of work outside. So I didn't have too much time on the courses. So I began to put courses together, asking my people on my Facebook group what they kind of wanted and whether I could pre-sell it to them. And there was a resounding yes when I said I'd give them 50% off. So I started to create maybe, I think it was about 4 sections. And now there's about 40. So those guys with those 3 or 4 sections that I'd set up pre-bought into the course, which was great. And you can also see the interest without actually spending too much time. So this kind of pre-selling technique can really help you. So that's why we created this kind of form page here, which was launching soon, register, get on the list. And this form, actually the next form that I'm going to show you, which is just a button, is just going to enroll people straight into a funnel. So from last week, you know, from forms, we can capture data, we can add tags. So we can send to a funnel, add to a list, and we can redirect to a page. Generally, it's a thank you page, but you can redirect to any page you like. So forms can contain custom data, as we saw last week, and buttons can go to link and they can open pop-ups as well. So you can open a pop-up with a form in that allows you to fill out and then send them into the funnel, or just get them on your list. So moving on to funnels, which is what this is all about. So obviously, funnels are a great way of gaining sort of leads and prospects. So we got 2 types here that we're going to look at. We're going to look at lead magnets. Normally, these are a shorter sequence of pages. They're generally just an opt-in and then a thank you page. And we've got video series funnels, which are usually longer sequences. So you might do a 3-day workshop and then give them your selling point at the end. We've also got landing pages. Landing pages are really what we've been doing for the forms last week. So you can create that one page and that can be your landing page, but you could create as many as you want. And the reason that you might want to create lots of landing pages is because of search engine results. So for instance, I've got a jewelry design course. So I've got on my WordPress site, and I'm starting to bring them across onto new Zenler. I've got about 60, 70, and there's a lot of traffic goes through those pages, because they're all picked up under different keywords on search engines. So landing pages are a really good one. I think we're going to do a workshop just on that, because that will cover kind of maybe setting up pages in the page designer as well, in the page builder. So all of the above for offering something that brings your users into your site. Okay. So whatever that may be, you might say, right, okay, just have a look at my 3-day video series and see if you like my teaching style. And if you do, then opt in. So an example of this could be short video series that you give for free. It could be a free guide or a cheat sheet. It could be a special offer to a course before you've actually finished it yet, so a pre-release, or even a whole course and giving them a discount. Or you can invite them to a live workshop. So these are all things, there's a lot more, of course, but these are like the main 4 that I would say most people use all the time. So that's that. So organization via lists and tagging. So we kind of covered this last week on setting forms up, and that you can put your leads into email lists. You can also tag them on the way in. So that's kind of about it for there. Let me just stop the screen share to the site. Okay, and I'm also going to open my chat up so that I can see if you guys right. That's all right, no screen share. I just basically covered what we did last week. Are you all seeing my screen okay? Excellent. Notice I asked that this time. Just in case. All right, so I've got your chat up on the screen, so I should see anybody if anything goes wrong. Okay, so let's jump into this site. And last week we created these forms in here, so like this. And this is a simple form that you can just save into an email list, or you can add them to a funnel as well. So I'm going to show you now. If you were thinking about adding them to a funnel, you might want to just do a simple form a bit like this. It's not a form, it's just a button here. So I'm going to jump into edit with these so I can show you how it could work with actually linking it into a funnel. So I'm going to go to the form one first, which is this page. Apologies if my internet's a bit slow today. Okay, so this is this form here. And down here where we've got the button, the submit button, what we can do is we can hit the gear icon, and under the settings here, we can actually add them to a funnel. Now, last week we added them to an email trigger, but we can just add them to a standard funnel, you know? So I'm going to move on to the next one. So that's the form part. I'm going to move on to this one, which is just a button on a page. So I'm going to go in and edit that. And you're going to see you have the same option. So even though it's not in a form, you can still get them to subscribe. If they click the button, they'll go into the funnel. All right. So this is just a button I've set up. I'm going to go to the gear icon. Under the settings here, you've got links. So I can put a link in here to the page, the funnel page. We could also do a submit form, and you could submit that form and send them straight into the funnel there. That would send them into, you probably best to actually use the link and just send them to the funnel start page, because this has got no form data. So because of that, they haven't put their email address in. Of course, you need their email address. So the only thing we can do here with the button is we can send them to the page, the first page of the funnel, so they can type their email and their name and any other information that you want. But this can work. It's nice because it's nice and clean. So people go, oh, that's good. I register there, and then I'll go through and I'll see that opt-in page, and then they're in the funnel. Then they're in the sequence. So that's all good. So are you clear on that, guys? I should be. Can you not see my screen clearly? I'm on standard screen share. Yeah, It might be something on your settings, guys, if you're having trouble, because a lot of people can actually see it. It's just a full screen share. Fine. So yeah, it is all okay. I haven't done anything differently, and there's no setting for it. I just share the screen. Yeah. So you need to put your thing into full screen mode. Good. Click view. Yeah. So in Zoom, click view, full screen. All right. Good. Yeah, it's important that you see everything that's going on. So you've asked if I'm in fun. Are the NZ funnels for those that visit your site on New Zenler only? Sorry, we're not getting on to the questions yet, but I don't kind of understand that one. All right. So let's move on then. Let's start creating, or let's start looking at a funnel. So inside of your admin dashboard, okay, you're going to have let me just close those. You're going to have up here marketing funnels. So we're going to click that, and you're going to see that I have a couple of things set up. Email trigger we did in forms last week, and I have this lead magnet here. So I want to just show you this before we kind of recreate it. So you're going to see when you set up a lead magnet funnel, these are exactly the same, even if you set up a video series funnel. Okay, these bits along the top. So it's not learning any differently, because there's two types. There's lead magnets and there's video series funnels. So first one we've got here is an overview. So it gives you the amount of leads, amount of conversions, visitors to the page, to this funnel. Okay, so if we move on to next, we've got funnel details. So this gives you the URL here of this funnel. So if I just copy that and I just paste it into a new tab, and we go there, you can see that this is the funnel. Now let's just test it. If I click here, you're going to see that I get a nice little pop-up come up. So I can then put my name and email address in there, and then they are entered into the funnel. So to get to the funnel steps, and these are the steps that make up your funnel. It's angled like this. It's angled like a funnel. You can add more steps quite easily. You can just click and add another step. The first step is probably the most important for you, because that's where they're going to opt in. So they're actually going to put their details in there so that they can opt into it. So on a lead magnet funnel, we've got two here. We've got a thank you page as well. So we just click preview the thank you page. This is after they've put their details in here. So you can see this comes up saying you're registered, thank you, free tutorial is going to be in your inbox. Because it's going to be in their inbox, because we're going to be using automations. So when someone opts in, it automatically sets off a sequence of events that you've set up. So for instance, this one here gives 3 actions in here. So if I come down to edit this action, you're going to see all 3 in here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. So this first one will be fired out and it will give a delay. So 0 days. So that basically means as soon as they sign up, this is the first email that will fire off to them. So we're going to format all this, but we've already supplied you with some sort of base information for you to look through. Okay, we can change all of this, and we will, but this is the information it gives you. So it's saying in here that after 0 days from subscription, this email will fire out. So this is the first email that will fire out. And let's look at the second one. It says after 1 day from subscription. It says 1 days, but 1 day or 2 days. It will then fire out another email. So if we click on that, we can then get it after 1 day to fire out another one, again from subscription. Okay, and you've got the email that you can format in here with personalization that we're going to go through. So you've also got the from name and the email address as well that you put in there, and that will fire out after 1 day. So first day they have opted in, they'll get an email, and generally that email will tell them to go somewhere or to pick up something for free, then you might send them a thank you email again to say 1 day later to say thank you for registering for the latest offers or those sort of things. And then you can send another one. You can basically set these up as many as you like in here. You can also delete them. You're not stuck with keeping these. You can also delete them out. Let's look at this third one here. It says 2 days from subscription. So remember, subscription is when they type their email and their name in there. So these will fire off. If someone signs up today, they're going to get these sequence of emails. Someone signs up next week, they're going to get those emails in sequence. So it's from when they subscribe. Okay. So this is really important to kind of understand it. And also in here, I mean, I know this can seem a little bit daunting, but all you're doing is you're tailoring when things go out, when emails go out. And this is a big point, because I want to point this out to you. These funnel steps that you're seeing in here, this is not tied in to the automations. You're just creating pages of the content, and then separately is the automations, where it's actually going to send information to the opted in user. So they're not together. So, I mean, if you think about it this way, what you could do is in the first email, you could send them to another website. You could send them to a page on your site. It doesn't have to be one of these funnel step pages. We like you to use the funnel step pages because it keeps it all in one place. But don't think of it that they're tied in together. The questions come up lots of times where people have said, oh, well, if I set more funnel steps up, what happens with the automations? And, and they got this thing in their head that the two are actually linked together. Automations are being created basically because of someone putting their name and their email address in there. These pages that are set up in here is just for you and for organizing. So all of your funnel is in one place. So get that in your head as well, because some people might say, right, okay, well, if I take someone opting in, the first email, I might send them to another site, or I might send them to the registered page or the waiting page on a live event, so a webinar or something, or I might send them into my Facebook group. You don't have to think that it needs to just be in the site. And that's the flexibility of using these funnels, or having this separation between funnel steps and automation. We would never want to tie the two together, because then it would be too rigid. It would be too rigid a framework to work with. So that is how it works. Now we're going to put it into practice. So let's create our first lead magnet and go through here. So first of all, I'm going to just delete this one out because I don't need it. Something to point out here is if you create a lead magnet or a video series funnel, you can also, and you want to reuse it, but you just want to change a few of the graphics, you can easily do it by clicking in here and cloning it. So you might have a set of templates and you might clone them. That is the most efficient way to work, because if you've got it all set up and you're changing a date, because maybe you're doing a promotion in March and then you're going to do another one in April, you might want to clone it just so that you can use it there. And some of them might be timed, so you might want to finish that one at that date. So we give you the option to delete it out there if you need to. So let's go and create a new funnel. It's really easy, quick steps. So we've got two types to pick from. We've got lead magnet and video series funnel. And we're going to start with the simplest one, which is a lead magnet. So I'm going to do this one first, and then we're going to have a little bit of a question time from you guys, and we can then move forward. So I'm going to just select that one. By the way, if you just click there, you're going to see the selection. So you can click there or there. So I'm clicking on lead magnet and I'm clicking next. So I'm going to name this something. I'm going to call it, let's call it workshop test lead mag. Okay. So first thing that comes up is freebie download. So if you've got a download that you want to go into this, you can select it in here. Now, personally, I don't like to use that because I like to just manually put them in myself. I don't use the add file, but you can if you want to. If you open the add file, you can see that you can upload your files there. So you might want to upload a zip or a PDF file, something like that. It's a freebie. You can jump into the library and select something in there, or you can put a URL in there if you wanted to a file. So if you've got it on a Google Drive or something like that. The next one is we've got product to be launched or course to be launched at the end of sequence. So again, you could come in here and you could select a course if you wanted it to be launched at the end of the sequence. I do suggest you just play around with this. You know, it's really quick to create these little funnels. Start with a lead magnet because they're the simplest. They have the opt-in page and the thank you page. So you can just see how they work. A video series funnel is a little bit more involved, but I'll talk you through it, don't worry. So I'm not going to add anything to this and I'm going to click next. The next thing we've got now is a themes to pick. So because we use Page Builder, they're very highly editable. So what you've got here is you've basically got to look at the shape of it, how it's looking. You know, do you want this one? If you've got a preference for that kind of one. Remember, we can put images under the back. We can change the colors, change all the fonts, put your own logo in there. So they're highly customizable, but they just give you this. Now, for this one that I did, I created it with this one here. And I just clicked finish in there. And what will happen is it will create the pages for you. So it creates the opt-in page, it creates the thank you page, and it then finishes. But you could go and clone a step if you wanted to. So I'm just telling you this. So if you want to add more steps into this funnel, we're not going to for this, but if you wanted to, you could clone one of these steps in here like this. And there you got another. So I've got two thank you pages. You can also then go in and edit, you can preview it, and you can delete it out again. Click OK. All right, so this, it has automatically given us the URL for the opt-in page. And this is probably the most important one you need. So you can copy it there, and you can then put that onto your social groups, send it out to people, and they could go in and register. So that gives you that link. You've also got the link for this, but you probably wouldn't send this out because you want them to go through the process of opt-in. So with that done, we're going to click edit step. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on design. I did the page builder workshop, so it's pretty similar to that. So I'm not going to style it up too much. I'm just going to put a few things in there. It's more important, I think, that you understand the automation process, because that's the part that you're sending emails out to people and giving them things like freebies. So here we go. So we got, this is the first page here. So if I go into edit here, I can go and change a few of these things like the background image. I've got this nice little image here. I can put a little overlay behind it like this. You guys that have done the page builder course will understand all this. You can go in here and change the text to a different color or a different font type. And, you know, you can work with it really quickly. And then we're going to look at this button here. This says, give me the cheat sheet. Now, what this button does is it will open up the pop-up. Okay. So up here, you're going to see, if I click this, I'm on the gear icon, I go to settings. Look what the action does for this button. Opens pop-up. This is the text in here. And that's the top line of text. If I got rid of this, it would delete this from the bottom there. But this is the interesting bit, looking at the action, which is the open pop-up. So to access the design for the open pop-up, we're just going to click in here, and you're going to get this come up here. So this is what's going to happen. So I'm going to go and preview this. I'm just going to save this and preview it and just show you what it is before I've done any changes. By the way, this is all fully SEO as well. So you can SEO your title, meta description, meta keywords, and social imaging. Now, I know we haven't talked about marketing and SEO and those sort of things. So when I do, this will become relevant to you. You might already be doing it, so that's good. So I'm going to click done now, and we're going to do is save that again, and we're going to preview it. So all I did really was change the color and added that background there. So if I hit the give me cheat sheet, notice this comes up. So this is what they would fill out, and then it would go to the next page, which is the thank you page here. Okay. So to edit this pop-up, we can hit the pop-up button, click in here, go to settings, and where, oh, this is a little bit fiddly, this, hold on, that blue one there. When you come over to design, we've given you a set of kind of pop-up, different things to pick. So you can change this. So if I wanted to change it, I could change it to this one and it would change. And then I could go and change a few things in here. So I'm going to go into the box here and maybe change this, something like that. And, you know, you can just design it as you normally would and click save. So now if I go back into that opt-in page, I'll close that and I refresh it. When I hit this now, I'm going to have this come up. Okay, so that's a pop-up. But what about if you want to have a form in there? I'm going to stop this for a minute while I just have a look at some of the messages that are coming in. Yeah, thanks, Phoenix. Phoenix is answering everybody. She's a legend. Okay, good. So I will carry on then. And I'll show you the next step. So we have the thank you page. I'm not going to change any of this. I'm going to leave all this the same. I'm going to leave the thank you page the same. I really don't need to show you that. You can see how you can highly edit it and get it exactly how you look. And you can add more steps to it. As you'll see in automation, we'll show you how to send people to the different URLs that are generated here. So, and we'll do that more in the video series because that's where it's kind of from there. But I want to show you how to, instead of having a pop-up, how we could put a form in here to grab those details. So I'm going to come in here straight away and I'm just going to delete this out. I'm going to click delete and I'm going to go across to my elements and I'm going to go down to form. I'm going to grab a form and I'm going to put a form in here. So now what I've done is I've taken that button away. So I've bypassed the pop-up. Okay, so we got in here the name, the email. We can add more fields. Guys, look at last week's workshop on adding form fields because it's all in there. So if you want to know how to add more fields, you can. And we can go in and style this. So I'm going to go into the settings now. And we need to make sure that this action is a submit action. Okay, so it's submit form. We don't want it going to a link and we don't want it opening the pop-up. It's going to submit a form and it's going to register them as leads inside your site. Now, the other options we have are exactly the same as we did for forms last week, which is you can add them to an email list if you have an email list set up. You can add them to a funnel. Yeah, I know it's weird. You can add them to a funnel inside a funnel. So it could get crazy, you know, with that sort of thing. And you can also add tags to them. So if you wanted to add a tag like that, you could. Or if you wanted to create a new tag, you could put in here April, and then we could hit enter. And that would be tagged. So when those users come in, they will be tagged. Again, if you don't understand tagging, that was all in forms, which I'll send out with the replay. There's no point in wasting time to repeat that. So I'm going to get rid of those tags by clicking there. And next we have a post submit action. Now this is important because we need to tell it to go to this thank you page. So I'm going to copy this URL. I'm going to jump back to here. And where it says post submit, remember post submit is after they click the submit button. Okay, we're going to go to link. You've also, by the way, got to go to next step as well, which would be the thank you page. But I'm going to put the link in here. So if I put that in there, that's then going to go to thank you page because we've listed it. And I'm going to click save. So that is that sorted. So I want to do a test now to just check that that's working. And then we're going to talk about the, let me click that. Let's just refresh. So you can see that's all on there. So I'm not going to put my details in here yet because I have to set up the automations. So remember, first thing to do, set your design up, have an idea of what you're doing. You know, you're going to say, right, well, I want, you know, maybe I want another page and I want to give some more information. And then on the final page, I want to give them the free gift. Now, something to bear in mind, and I spoke about this last week, again in the forums, you see how these things are interrelated. If I do not put on freebies onto things like thank you pages, I always send out freebies as links inside of emails that are sent to people. Reason being is if someone puts a fake email address in there and hits the submit, they're taken to the thank you page that could contain the free offer. Now, to stop that happening, I'm going to actually put the link to the freebie inside the email that's sent out to them. So if they put a fake one in there, they'll never receive the email and they'll never get the freebie. So some people do it so that when you click through, you just click it and then you get the freebie. But I don't like to do that because of that problem, you know. So I think that's how I like to work, and it's really easy to do anyway. So let's jump into here now and go. Now we've got our lead magnet set up, we've got our opt-in page, we've got our thank you page, and we're going to go to automations. So inside automations, we've already set things up for you a little bit. If you click open here, we give you 3 in here. You don't need to use all of them, and you can easily delete them out. By the way, guys, if you click edit action on any of these, you're going to get access to this one, and this one. So if I click edit action here, you're going to see you're still going to get those 3. So you can do it all from the same place. Okay. So let's go ahead. I do suggest that you read through here. We've put this information in here to give you a bit more information on what you're kind of doing. We've got things like you can put links in there to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or any other link you want to. It's just text. I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to delete it out. Now, things to bear in mind when you're in automations, you need to have a mailing address and you need to have the unsubscribe link in there. These are requirements. If you delete out one of these and you try and save it, it's not going to let you actually use the funnel. It's not going to automate it. It's going to throw an error up. So you need to make sure that these are in here. So I'm going to grab up here and I'm going to delete out all of this content. Okay. And I'm going to compose my email. So someone has signed up for the freebie and you want to give it to them. And in this case, it's going to be a PDF, okay, which I've already got on the system. So I'm going to go hi, and now I'm going to use some personalization. Personalization is in here. There's two personalization areas. One is for the mail subject and one is for the actual body of the mail itself. Remember, this is an email going out to them. So I'm going to click personalization and I'm going to click first name. And I think on the funnel, I only had name there. So I'll just use first name. If you wanted to, you could do a little space and then you could put last name and like that, and then put a little comma in there. So next we're going to go get your free PDF guide. Okay. And then I'm going to go and put sign it off bottom. I'm doing this really simply. You can make it as elaborate as you want to. You can put images in there if you wanted to, all that stuff. And I'll just put cheers, David. Just for speed. Okay, so I'm going to put a link in here to the PDF. So I'm going to jump to where my PDF is. So I'm going to go in here, and if I put a link, if I try and drop a link in there, it's just going to give me this, and I don't know where that is. So I need to just go and find out where it is in the media library. Now, if you want to keep this screen open, but you want to get to another area like the media library, what I find is a good thing to do is to right-hand click the site and then go to open link in new tab. And this way it opens it in a new tab and you don't lose that page. It's a little top tip for you. So I'm going to go into Media Library now, and I'm going to go and find my PDF, which I don't think I've got. I thought I had it. Okay, I haven't. So I'm going to upload one. So I'm going to go to upload. I'm going to go select a file. I've got him on my desktop somewhere. Okay, where are you? Funnels. There he is. So I've just got this roadmap I'm going to use. So I'm going to click that. That's going to upload. And now it's in my media library. Okay. So what I want to do also is I want to turn the sharing on. I want to make sure that it's shared with anyone. So I'm going to go anyone with a link can download this. Okay. Then I want to copy that link, copy, click done. So just to go over that again, I just went to the share option there and I just made it anyone with a link can download, changed it to that. And then I just copied that URL. So now I can jump back to my page and I can paste in that link. Go in there, insert link, and click insert. And there it is. So I've got a link to that PDF. So this is why I like to do it inside the page. So sometimes it's jumping back to where your media is that you want to include as the freebie, and then just grabbing that link and then putting it in there on there. So if I click Save Changes now, it's going to say this action is currently paused. Can you see this red here? That's a paused action. So they're not live. And if I click Yes, and I go Apply to list existing leads. Now, apply to existing leads is really important because if you've already got people in the funnel and you were to apply it, if it's gone 1 day after subscription, they're not going to receive it, but it applies it to existing. So if you add another action in here, then make sure that you want the existing students to receive that, then make sure you click yes. If you do not want existing students to receive that email, click no. Okay, simple as that. So from that point on, anybody coming in will receive it, but not the people that have already gone past it. So I'm going to click yes to that because I've got nobody in here anyway. And you'll now see that it is set up. So I can also preview it in here like that. And I can check the link works by clicking in here, making sure the PDF works, which it does. It's come up. So that all works. It's also worth doing a test, but I suggest that you do a test right the way through the process. Set these up and then do a full test of it all. Now down here, you've got 1 day after subscription. So this email that we set up here will go to them straight away. So they're putting a name and they're opt-in. And the first email that will go out will be, get your free guide. So there you go. That's the end. But you could carry it on, and not a day after you could say, did you enjoy the PDF? Are you thinking about taking a course on this? You know, you can do follow-up emails if you want to in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you, these are all pre-set up, but I want to show you how to create your own. So I'm going to click in here and I'm just going to click delete. And so I'm deleting these out. This is the only active one. So if I want to send another mail to someone on a timed event, all I need to do is go to add action, okay, and click send mail. And there we go. So you've got another. So we can say this is, call this thank you here. You don't see this. It just makes it easier to know what the name is. And you can go how many days. So I can go days, go 1. So 1 day after subscription, they'll then receive this email that you can send out. So you'll put in here something like, did you like the PDF? Find out more by visiting, you know, wherever. But you see how you can build on this. So you could keep adding these in here. Now, remember, it's paused. So I need to, first of all, save it. And then it's going to ask me subject is required. So you need to make sure we're putting a subject in here as well. So this is what they will see on the mail as well. So you need to make sure that it's what you want them to see. So I can go free PDF guide follow up. Yep, that's what they will see. You can also put personalization in there. So you can put their name. And this is the subject field that they'll see. So you can put their first name, last name, full name, and you can drop that in there as well. So you've got personalization in 2 places. Okay. So let's save that now. I've got a subject. It's going to say, this is currently paused. Do you want to make it live? I'm going to click live, apply to existing students. And there you go, it's live. So this is now a live funnel. So when someone opts in, they're going to receive that email giving them the free link to the PDF. Then 1 day later, they're going to receive a thank you email or a follow-up email. Did you like the PDF? Find out more, visit here, wherever you want them to visit. So that is it. In essence, that's what it is. And when we do the video series funnels, obviously there's more steps, but it's the same process. Okay, there are a few other things I need to tell you about quickly. One is, you've seen how we can send a mail, which is send a mail, but we've also got add a tag. So in here, we can add a tag to the user. Okay, so you can tag them as when they come in, saying that they're, they've received the first mail, or they've come back to you, or the actual name of the funnel itself, workshop, test, lead magnet, and you can tag them. And then it's easier later for you to actually find them in your system. As well as add a tag, you can remove a tag. So you might remove a tag, say if they've come into the funnel and you want to kind of monitor where they are. So they've come into the funnel, but have they actually gone and gone through the whole sequence? Have they visited, have they got the next mail? Or have they gone to a site or whatever? You can actually say, if they have, remove the tag. So you can add a tag and you can remove a tag. So there's times when that wasn't very eloquently put, but there's times where you might want to remove a tag as well. Now, also we've got send a webhook. Now, if you don't know about webhooks, then probably best to stay away from it. It's a way of passing information. It's very powerful, but if you're just learning this stuff, just don't worry about it at the moment. And then we've got another one, which is really useful, which is notify admin. So if I click notify admin, what that will do is it will send a mail out to you as the site owner. So this is really good. So you get notifications when someone opts in to your funnel. And just like every other automation in here, you can set when this goes out from when they subscribe. So you can go subscriber in here. And then you can put, hi, David, and then I'll put something out. You have a new funnel lead. And then I can actually put in who that is. So I can go in here, personalization, and you can put this in here. I can go last name. And then if you put full name in there as well, you could put full name. And you could put their email. You could put their email is, and then personalization in there, email. And then of course you can go for, because you might have more funnels than one, for funnel. And then we put in there the name of the funnel. And if you want the URL, you can put the URL. So nobody will receive this email apart from you as admin. Okay. So funnel URL. So every time someone signs up into this funnel, you will get an email saying you've got someone who signed up for it. So again, this is really good because it sort of, you see them pop up and you know how popular it is. You'll always be able to see the people that signed up because you go into leads here, which we haven't looked at yet. So I'm going to leave that like that, and I'm going to click save changes, and I'm going to make it live. And now you can see. So we've got 3 things going on here. One, we've got the instruction to pick up the freebie. Next one, 0 hours from subscription. We've got a notification going to you as admin. And the third one is a thank you or a follow-up email. Now, like I said, you can add as many of these steps as you like. Generally, you tie them up with steps that you've created in the funnel steps area, but you don't have to. Like I was talking about the forms workshop that we did last week, we actually created trigger funnel. And that trigger funnel was purely, we took out all of the steps. It was purely to use the automation part of funnels. Okay. So that is lead magnets. So I know that is all working. So I'm going to go now and check this out and see that it all works. So I'm going to go into all people and just make sure I'm not in here. got some tests going in here. So I'm going to actually delete me out here. And now I'm deleted out. Good. And I'm now going to test this funnel out. So let me just get in here and get rid of that. So by the way, guys, this URL that you've got here, remember, you can get that easily through going to overview, funnel steps, and then copying that first step here. Yeah, just in case. So there it is there. So I'm going to go, let's go testing, and then I'll put in this in here and I'll hit submit. And there we go. So it's gone to that thank you page. So let me show you. Make sure. So that thank you page is this one here. But what's going on behind the scenes is now the automation has fired. So I'm going to quickly jump into my Gmail and I'll show you what's going on. Sorry, I've got it on the other screen because obviously it's got other people's email addresses in there. And sometimes it can take a little bit of time to come through. I think I had the same trouble last week with, here we go. There we go. Fabulous. So there we go. So this is the email that I've received. So as a user under D Newton Creative Services, I've got this email, hi testing, because that's what I put in there as my name, testing, get your free PDF, click there. So one day later, I'll receive the thank you email. So that's how it works. So I'm now going to open up to the board. I'm going to stop sharing and we can chat. So let's go for this. So I've now disabled, you should be able to unmute yourself now, guys. So now is a time to ask questions. Anyone got any questions?
Is there any tracking on emails? Do you know if people have actually claimed a download or whatever?
No, not really. You could. The thing is, if they've gone into the funnel, you can tag them. So if they're tagged, you can see that they've gone into the funnel, but you can't tell whether they've downloaded anything. I don't know of a way of being able to do that. I'll ask Rakesh, but I don't think there is.
I guess it's possible if you used an external SMTP like Sendinblue, and then you could use Zapier. It'd be a bit complicated, but doable.
Yeah, doable.
Rakesh says links can be tracked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, in the system itself, tracking something that's downloaded would be a bit tricky, but you can see the amount of leads and activities that go through the funnel. Yeah,
but if they click the link, you have to assume it's been downloaded.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you all happy with that explanation of? Because I know you've seen quite a lot going through it.
I've got a question about making sure we're GDPR compliant, and it feels like there's a double opt-in step that I've got in Flowdesk that I haven't got here. I'm not keen on it because I think it deters people. But if you make them click to get the lead magnet, does that count as a double opt-in?
I know in MailChimp you have the double opt-in option, but you can actually turn it off. It's not a requirement. As long as you've got your GDPR thing in there, if someone's put their name and their email address in there, then they've given you permission to, or they want to receive something from you. So I don't see that being a problem. I think if it was a problem, the Zenler team would have made sure that there was that option put in there.
I think there's something about you can't force somebody to give their email address to get information from you. So I've seen on another site as well, someone has like almost in grayed out writing at the bottom, or skip this step to access. They don't necessarily say what you're skipping the step to do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that's that. I mean, the whole thing with GDPR was people, and rightly so, grabbing these massive lists of users normally got from marketing companies, sold to them, and then these companies, and they still do it all the time, send out massive loads of marketing on these emails, which is just, not asked for. So that was the whole reason behind it. Well, when someone actually comes on your website, put their name in there, puts their email address in there, then that's why inside the mails that go out, they've always got the ability to unsubscribe. That's a feature you cannot turn off. So if you send out an email, they always have the option to unsubscribe from it. And like I said, MailChimp do have a two-step sort of authentication, but you can turn it off. And probably you'll see in Flowdesk, I don't know because I don't use it, but there's probably an option in there to turn it off as well. Is that right?
Yeah, you can turn it off in Flowdesk. I just know that in the UK, everyone's getting a bit hot on the whole GDPR and, vigilantes on whether or not you're GDPR compliant or not. But I can build it in. I can just build in language at the bottom of my option screen, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're worried, you can just say, tick the box. This signifies that you're giving consent for us to send you stuff in relation to this promotion.
Is it possible to have that tick box? Do you have that option?
Well, you can. Did you view last week's form workshop?
No, but I will check that out then.
Right, okay, because that we show that in there. We show you can set up a checkbox for terms and conditions that they've accepted them. Okay. So you could easily put that into the form inside. When we're doing forms on the website, the forms that you do inside funnels is exactly the same. So you could add more fields in there if you wanted to capture more data. You can also put checkboxes in there so that they've actually confirmed that they agree to your terms and conditions, or whatever you like, privacy policy, all of those things. Okay, that's great. Thank you. That's a nice way around it, because you don't want to. I found with the double opt-in thing with MailChimp that it used to drive my people mad, because they were like, yeah, well, I've signed up for it. That's what I want. I want to go jumping back and forward. So personally, it never worked for me. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, you've got to be up on these things, really. Okay, guys, anything else? Or I'm going to jump into videos. I think we're all right. Everyone's okay? No direct double opt-in. We got some. Everyone's asking about the double opt-in. Is Rakesh on board? Rakesh, yeah. Rakesh is there. Good. Yeah, he will put something in there. He already has. No direct double opt-in, but you can simulate this by using filters, by using first email click as double opt-in automation. Yeah, I think that's another Ask Zenler actually. Good. That's why I like these workshops, because you get lots of extra things come out of it. Great. All right, I'm going to move on now. I'm going to turn my screen sharing back on. This is what happened last time, and I didn't turn it on. Okay, guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Lovely. Yeah. Fabulous. Now, I've got you all on voice as well, so I'm going to just... I'll leave the voice on for now. So if you guys want to kind of interrupt me, feel free, as long as it's on topic. Okay. So let's go and do this. Right. So what we're doing now is we're going to do a video series funnel. So, and a lot of it, you'll be like, oh, it's sort of exactly the same as a lead magnet, really, because it kind of is. So I'm going to go to marketing funnels now. I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to go to video series funnels. Now, it might seem a little bit like, oh, I don't get this, but I will try and explain it to you as we work through it. So I'm going to click next, and in here, we're going to name it. So I'm going to call it video series funnel workshop. test. And it's going to ask you add video step. Right. Okay, I've got my videos set up, which I want to just show you. And in here, I have a series of videos. Now, this is a 3-day, let's pretend this is a 3-day video series. So day 1 is going to be this one. Day 2 is going to be this one. And day 3 will be a kind of incentive to buy something, maybe. This one here is the intro. Now, when it asks you for your videos, your add video steps, it doesn't count the first video step. All right. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, it will in a minute. So I'm going to be uploading day 1, day 2, day 3, and then on the opt-in, I'm going to manually upload this one. So I've already put them in here to save time so that it's not configuring stuff. So if I go to add video step, I can come into the library and I can go and grab my day 1 there. Okay. And then I'm going to add another video step. So I'm going to go to day 2. Okay. And I'm going to add my final one, which is day 3. Notice I haven't done the intro one. All right. So what the system is going to do, because we've added those steps, is it's going to set up the pages. So on each of these steps, it's going to set up the pages with that video in there. So you can also, again, put in a course at the end of the sequence as well if you want to. I'm going to skip that, but I'm going to click next now. So it's going to ask us to which template to use. So we have a few different templates to use. They've got these little locked videos in here. So you'll see like on day 1, that will be open, but the other 2 videos will be locked. So let's go and choose. I actually like this one because it's simple. Lots of people use this one. Guys, what do you reckon? Which one should I go for? Up to you.
Number 3. I want to see number 3.
Number 3. All right, this one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Lovely, let's do it. Okay, so let's click finish. And now it will use that as a template and it will build out. So you can see video 1, video 2, video 3. And if I just preview this one, I'm not previewing the opt-in page yet. I just want to show you what's going on. So if I click in here, you're going to get this. See these little locked icons here? So you can see this is the first one, day 1 video. Look a bit tired there. So the next video that you would have would be the day 2, which is here. And that's day 2. Again, I could have put a better thumbnail up. And lastly, we have day 3 there. So yeah, nicely shut eyes there. So that would be my incentive. So these are the pages that it's set up. Now let's have a look at the opt-in page. So what you're going to see is we've actually just got a placeholder in here. We haven't got anything in here at all. So I need to edit that and put that in there. And like the lead magnet template we picked, they're highly editable. You can use Page Builder. So I don't really need to run through and show you all of the how to edit those. So I'm going to just close these. And I'll close that one down. And what we'll do is we'll come in here and I'll edit this because I need to put that intro video in there. So this is really important. It confused me when I first used it, as I busily uploaded all of the videos in sequential order with that intro, and then that was put in as a step. It wasn't a problem because I could delete it out, but it's definitely something to think about. So here we go. So inside here, I'm just going to click in here. And again, you don't even need a video in this first one. If you want to delete it, you can. So I'm going to go to video URL. I'm going to jump across to my library. I think it's that one. And there we go. We've got that in there. So that would be day 1. So again, it's very page buildery. It's all page builder. In fact, you can go in and change spacing, change the text color. You can even change in here as well.
David, Phoenix here. Quick question.
Hi, Phoenix.
Hello. I would like to add a little workbook or a worksheet or something at the bottom of each video. Can I do that here? I think I can.
Yeah, you can do whatever you like. I mean,
Just
good
add a
point.
block.
Yeah, you can go in there, add an empty block, or grab one of our pre-made blocks, and you can go and add whatever elements you like in there. So yeah, good question. You can add these blocks. So remember, if you're using the Pro and Premium, you can save these blocks out. So if you wanted to put something in there, there's a bit much, but you can basically use this as you would the page builder. So you can put images in there and all those things, and then you could save this block out and then just drop it into the other pages. So if I did a save here, I'll just call it test, and I click save. Then I will go into the other pages. Let's go into this page now. And I could just drop that block straight in there. So you can pre-make the blocks up and you can put them in and reuse stuff all the time. So that's a really good question, Phoenix. Does that answer your question there?
It does, but I think they will be devil in the details. So I think I'll just go and try and build it out and see what happens.
Yeah, build it out. Remember, you could also, you don't have to build that in a funnel. You could build that in pages, and then you could save. Yeah. So you could save the block out and then use it like that. That would be a way to do it as well. So yeah, page builder is very flexible. So you've got this option down here. So I could take this block and I could drag it across and just drop it in there. So you can see how quickly you can just start building your pages out using that. So once you've got all your videos in series, definitely go through, preview them, make sure they're good. And then you need to move on to the next step, which is the automations. Let me just leave that page. So pretend you've finished editing your video, and we're going to go into funnel steps again. And I'm going to show you why I'm going to do this, because I need to grab some of these URLs. So one email feeds into the next. So we're going to right hand click and I'm going to open link in new tab. This will open up the automation steps, and then we can start to build these out. So you can see that we've already got some things being filled in, but we can go in and start to fill it out more. So if I go in here, I'm going to select all this, delete it out, and we're going to say, here is day 1 video. So jump back to this page. Remember, they've opted in at this stage. So they've opted in, they put their email address and they put their name in there. So this will be the first email that goes out. Now, at the moment, they've got no link to video 1. You could put a button into the opt-in page, but then they might jump the sign up to go to that first page. So you can put buttons in video 1, you can put buttons in video 2, buttons in video 3, but then they've got access to that information straight away. So what we're doing is we're going to send them a link to it each day over 3 days. So I'm going to copy this and we're going to send them the first one out straight away. So I've copied that link. So here is day 1 video, and then I've just put something like click here for this demo. Come in here, select the link, insert, and paste it in there. And click insert, and then I'll leave this as it is. And maybe you definitely want to personalize these as well, guys, you know. So hi, and then I'll put that in there. All right, so that's the first one done in its simplest form. Now what I like to do is I like to clone these as well. So you're going to see what I'm going to do in a second. So I'm going to go, as soon as they've subscribed, this is the first email they get, and this link goes to number 1 video here. So they've done the opt-in and the link goes to there. And next one that I send out, which would be after a day, it can be after a minute if you wanted it to be, or after a day, after an hour, after weeks, it's up to you. But the next one will be going into that one. And then finally, it will be going into that one. And that is it. So I'm going to click save to this and I'm going to turn it on, existing leads, good. I'm going to delete these 2 out, because I want to just clone what I've already done. And guys, this is how I work. It's just, I find it's much quicker to just go and clone some of this stuff up. Click clone. So I've got this one here, go into that mail. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to video, I'm going to call it video number 2 in here. Going to jump back to here. Going to grab number 2, back to here, and unlink, link it back up. Click insert. There we go. So here is day 2. Save. Yep. And I'll do the next one as well. Email, let's call it video 3. Okay. And by the way, I haven't changed the subscription date on these. I'll do that in a second. 3.
Hey, David, can I ask a question?
2 seconds. Let me just finish this bit off.
Got it.
I'm going to jump in here and I'm just going to put the link in here. And that's for 3. And I just want to do my timings on these videos now. So I've got that one set. I'm going to say that this is 3 days after. So we've got 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So actually it's 2 days after. 2 days after subscription. So I'm then going to click save. Okay, I'm going to jump back to this one. I'm going to go 1 day. And I'm going to click save and apply to existing. So what we have now is we have the first email that goes out. So this is as soon as they subscribe. And this is going to fire off this first video link, which is this one in the series. Then after the next day, they're going to receive another email in here. And it's going to take them to video 2, which is this one in the sequence. And then finally, on the last day, they've got this link to here to go to here. Now, obviously, this last page is really important. And like I've said to you before, you can add extra steps. So you could clone an extra step here and you can make a day 4 where you're then selling something. So you might have a discount to a course, or you might be, you know, or you might just want to keep them as leads to sell to them later. So this is the essence of it. Really easy to use. Once you get your head around it, it's really easy to use. But one thing that you have to do is test. You have to test this as a student. Now, it can take a long time, you know, guys, you know, if you're waiting 2 days for every time that you're testing something out, it's a real pain. So my little tip to you is do this. Go in here and make this 1 minute and make the next one 2 minutes. So within 3 minutes, you're going to get all the videos. Yeah. When you're happy with it, go back and put it to the right time. So this will save a lot of time if you do that. So change it to minutes, and then you can see those videos come through in order in your inbox, your test account, and check they're all correct and they all work, and then put the timings back to what they should be. And then you've got a working active funnel. So that is it in a nutshell. So there was a question. What's the question?
Oh, hey, David here. I was wondering, have you, between webinars and doing a video series funnel, which I'm really interested in doing because my whole school is based around mobile video. Have you seen, like, was one better than the other, or both should be done? You know, I'm just kind of curious your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, lives, which I want to do a session on. The good thing about funnels, I think, is that you can add all these steps. You know, if we were to go in and create a live, say we were to do something like an interactive webinar, and I was to go into here, you have a certain amount of steps that are already set up for you, and you can't extend on it. So if I go in here, and I'll just leave all this default and click next. I've got to choose not coming schedule. Let's just do that. Okay. It's going to set up these. You can pick these templates here. So I kind of look at these as like as almost like lead magnet kind of funnels, although it's just registration and stuff. But if I click this one and click finish, and we go through, it sets up these pages, and you can't add any more pages. So the beauty of the video series funnels or the lead magnet funnels is you can set up as many links as you want inside there. So that is the beauty. And then you could obviously send them to a page or something at the
So
end
it's
of
nice
it.
for like a mini course kind of offer to get them in to opt in and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that works really well. And it's like at the end of it, what you could do if you actually want to meet these people and find out what's sort of ticking in their mind and stuff, you know, the last frame. So you could pre-record your videos in series, and at the end of it, you could then say, right, okay, go here and register for the live workshop. And you could do that. You could run that every month or something. So you could put the timings on there and run it out every month. And that could be a good way to actually, because when people love lives, you know, I'm like you, I'm really video centric, and that's my whole thing. It's YouTube, and it's just videos, very little text. That's not my strong point. Videos are my strong point. So that's what I go towards. And I do lots of screen sharing, mainly all screen sharing. I don't even have my head in the videos. So for me, that side of it, the funnels and actually taking people through like a 3-day workshop is really good. I think that'll work for you, David.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay,
David?
guys, have we got any more questions?
Yes. Yes. It's Phoenix here again.
I think.
Hey, if you go back to the video funnel page, the video page, I want to see if the videos are actually locked or if they are on a drip feed. So it means even if I don't get the link in an email, if I go back to this page 2 or 3 days later, will the third video be grayed out and unlocked or locked? And how do you set that?
Yeah, no, it will be. Unless you're picking them up in sequence, you're going to go through to the page that you click. So if they've received video day 1, they're going to go to the video day 1 page. So they're going to hit this page. So if they don't receive the second email, or they've gone away or something, and then they go in, they're still going to get to this page because it's by the URL. I understand what you mean, Phoenix. You want them to sort of after day 1, day 2, they turn on. But that,
yeah, they go unlocked automatically after time X.
Yeah. No, it doesn't do that.
Doesn't. Oh, hang on a minute. Rakesh said something. Third day, drip the page with offer or step with the offer. No, okay, that's a different answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't automatically unlock on the page after time X.
No, but you might want to see, this is like forward thinking with things. Like if you're sending out day 1 and then day 2, day 3, think about at the end of it, day 4, set up another automated email and say, you know, if you missed any of these, check out day 1, day 2, day 3, and just have 3 links in that email. And you could follow that up a week later and then say, look, have you seen these? These are really good. You know, this will get you started. Got any questions? And then you can send them wherever you want to, or you can send them an offer or something. But it doesn't unlock automatically.
It doesn't unlock. So they're not going to get an automated email unless I set it up to say that, hey, now day 2 is available, because it's just unlocked on drip.
Yeah.
It's a manual. I have to set it up manually.
Yeah, but that's funnels, that's automation. You know, any automation, you're going to have to set it up to allow that in there.
So is there a next? So if you click on video 2, will it automatically open up?
No.
It's unclickable.
No. This is a link to this page.
Okay.
You can jump between them. I'll be honest, like I haven't used this template, but I've used one of these locks. I get rid of this box. I don't like it. I just have the video on there. It annoys me, this box. So I get rid of it and put it up the top. So I haven't really played if it would open. Let me go to number 3.
I suppose you can put a next button on there as well if somebody just wants to binge it.
Yeah, you could. They could then go through them. But yeah, you can actually jump between them. Look.
Yeah.
It's then taking you, but then I can't get back to 3. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it takes you to that page. But you could put that at the bottom. But the whole thing here is we're trying to, I mean, it's up to you. Some people like that, where you can just click through and see all of the videos in one day. But it's actually quite nice to drive this kind of excitement, because that's what we're trying to do with funnels. We're trying to get people to get into it, to buy into it. And they're like, oh, it's great. Oh, tomorrow, you know what, you want people to be excited about the next day because they're going to get their freebie. And then they're thinking, well, what am I going to get at the end of it? You know, what gift am I going to get in? How much is going to be off the end of it? So that we're trying to drive some sort of rather than, because I mean, you might as well list them on YouTube if they're all going to be available.
Or plug them into a course. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, or put them on a one page as a landing page.
Sure.
So we're trying to drive people, and you're trying to break this barrier. There's always this thing with it's like if you meet someone, it is a saying that you need to meet that person like 3 times for them to remember your name. And it's almost like that. It's almost like you're giving them an email, you're giving them something, so they're feeling good about themselves. They think, oh, that he's such a good person, he's giving me all these freebies. And then the next day, and you build this kind of invisible trust between you that you're doing something for free. And that's the whole point of funnels, is to build them. So you're actually focusing them down through the funnel until they go, yep, I want to buy from you because you're giving me so much, you know, already, and they haven't even bought anything yet.
Yeah, and that's where you put the course at the end. It's like, hey, if you want to dive deeper, then this is your logical next step.
Yeah, big and
got it.
We're actually working at the moment, and I think this is going to really benefit a lot of you guys, because there's a lot of questions come up about branding and creating a brand image, and also striking images and a bit of design. So we're going to do a kind of, it's not the Zenler platform, but we're going to do a kind of bit on branding and design, things to think about. And these kind of ways that we're thinking, where you're trying to get someone to follow you by the funnels, is kind of the same as when you're trying to brand your identity for your company, or you're trying to promote a page. So you're trying to get people to be excited and go, wow, that's really good, I want to be part of that. And that comes into branding and design, which we're going to add as a new course to the NZ Masterclass bundle at some point. We're actually working with one of the instructors as well, who's not part of Zenler, but he's got a ton of branding experience. So that's going to be really good when that comes out, and I'm going to be adding to that, and we're going to run some workshops on it. And I think that goes in hand with this, you know. It's trying to drive that excitement and get them to go through a chain of automated emails, taking them to lovely pages. So,
David,
guys,
I have a question.
Yep.
Thank you. This is Diana. And last week I asked you about emails and cleaning up my email box, and I was waiting for today's funnel presentation because I've never built a funnel before. I suppose my email opt-in on my new Zenler page would be my first ever funnel, technically. So I'm looking to deliver a year's worth of weekly emails in an email sequence. Where is the best place for me to build that? Because it's looking to me like it would be smartest for me to build it like a funnel here.
A year's worth of what you're almost turning, how are you monetizing that?
Yeah, like a subscription.
Okay.
A subscription, and I release the content weekly on emails, and I'd like to be able to go back in and manipulate the emails later if I decide that I want to move them around or change them. And last week we talked about with the emails, I can't go back and change anything, and they're stacking up. So I'm wondering if the funnel is going to give me more customization after the sequence has started.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, funnels were not really, I mean, like, saying that, they weren't designed for what you're talking about. Hold on, I've got someone doing some annotations on the screen. I didn't turn it off. Yeah, they weren't designed for doing a kind of subscription. I don't know what would be the best idea here. I tell you what, I'll talk to Rakesh about that, because can you PM me that question, please?
Yes.
We're going to talk for the best solution, because I don't think doing it as a funnel is going to be the best solution for you. I think there's better ones to be able to handle this.
Thank you.
I have a question, David.
Fire away.
Okay, now I want to do a video, and then that's going to be sort of like a free mini course. And then when they say that they, like what it is there's 3 types of dog trainers. And if they choose trainer number 3, then they go to a different, you know, like, I don't know how to do this, but then I would say, if you choose trainer number 3, click here, and then it will go to sort of like a little, I want to sell that part of it. And
so you want a different trainer to have a different course, or is
no,
that...
no, it's me.
Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
if they choose trainer number 3, then they go to this. They buy this little mini course, and then in that little mini course, if they decide to go to buy the full course, they get that refunded. Now, I'm not sure how I would do that.
Are you letting them buy the full course?
Yes, if they want to after the little mini course.
Right. So what you could do is you could have 2 courses. In the mini course, when they get to the end of it, you could then put a link to, you could put a direct coupon link. When they click that, they're going to get a discount from the main course. That'd be a way to do it.
Okay.
Or you could automate it so that at the end of the course, an email goes out to them, giving them a link saying, hey, look, you've taken this course, now take the full course and get this mini course deducted from the price.
Or could I put, like, after they've done the, you know, little mini course, it would say, like, if you want for your puppy or your, you know, adult dog, click here, and then it would go to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
And the other thing about it is that if you're tagging, we haven't got onto course creation yet, so we're a little bit off topic.
Okay, sorry.
No, I understand, it's fine. But what you can do is within the courses themselves, when someone signs up, you can tag them. So you can then use that. You can then go into your email broadcast, and you can actually filter those users and send an email out to them saying, if you take the full course, you know, you get a discount because you've taken the mini course. So you could tag them on the way in. So then you can see, and when they join the main course, you can then remove the tag. So you know that they've gone through there, and you're not going to resend an email to them. We're going to cover this on course creation. Course creation is probably going to be over 4 workshops because it's massive. So we're going to do that for sure. Okay. But it's a big subject.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
All right. So guys, we're going to wrap up now because we're kind of at the end of this. So hopefully you've got some good education on how to use automations now. I am going to, this is recorded. I did hit the record button, so that's good. That makes a change. So I'm going to put this up, and I'm going to put week 1 forms up as well. Now, I'm not going to do a workshop next Monday on the 4th, but I'm going to be back on the 11th. So I'm going to be putting posts up over the next few weeks about the next workshop and what we're going to do. And I'm going to need your feedback now, guys, because I'm going to ask you what you want. Do you want me to start the course creation? Do you want me to do one on using creating designs, so creating content for your sites, especially digital image manipulation and kind of branding design, or do you want me to, which ones did I say? Course creation, there's image design, and then there's emails and users. So emails and users is the 3rd one. So content for site branding, emails users, email users. Oh, well, that's resounding, email users. Well, that's good. I'm kind of happy about that. Course creation. So course creation is a big one. We've got branding is sort of 3rd on the list, but from that, I'm assuming emailing users. Yeah, it is a big subject, because although we covered it slightly on forms and these sort of things, it definitely is something that you should really understand and be able to manipulate the users on your site, to be able to bring users in from external sources, to be able to tag them, to be able to untag them, to be able to manipulate them in ways, and also set up all the emails and things like that. We've looked at automations here, and it will bring us onto the subject. We will be looking back in automations, but we'll be looking at how we can make it all a bit prettier. You know, we've just got kind of plain text, which is very deliverable, but some of you guys want to put a nice bit of branding in around it. So I think we'll try and cover that in there as well. It'll probably be a 2-hour session. I want to get onto course creation, but I don't want to rush it until you understand all sites and how to do funnels and page builder and all these sort of things. So there's no rush, but I'm going to be back on the 11th with the email one then. Emails and users will be next, guys. So thank you so much for attending, and nothing went wrong today, which is amazing. So I know you like me to make a few little mistakes, so I'll try to do it next week.
Can I ask one quick question, David?
Yeah, go on.
If I have, I want to do a weekly live for Q&A or showing a workshop or whatever for my members, it's part of their membership. Do they get, if I create that, are they getting alerted when it is or everything? Or how do you make them aware of it?
Yeah, you need to be setting it up as a live class. Okay.
Yep.
If you've got it up as a live class in here, you can actually select the course so your students will be in a course. Yeah.
So the whole site's a membership site, so they're all going to have access to this.
Oh, fabulous. That's great then. So create your live class and just add them to it. So add that course to it, and then they'll be informed. They'll just be able to log in as they normally would when they're logging into the site. They won't have to create a new user setup or anything. They can just log in with their normal setups and they can go straight in there. In fact, that's what Kevin does for his breakthrough sessions and his challenges. He gets you to sign up for a course, and then he sends out these live class invites, and people just drop in because they get the emails that are sent out to them.
So once I create that, I invite them in, they're getting an email automated that there's a live class coming?
Yeah. I would advise testing this as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That's all right. No problem. All right, guys, look, I'm going to end this now because time's dragging on a bit here. So hopefully I've covered everything. I think I have. So that was forms and funnels over 2 weekends. So I will see you again on the 11th. I'm going to pop up on office hours on Monday. Remember, office hours Monday, and got live Q&As on YouTube on Wednesday as well. We're doing a Wednesday live stream to YouTube. So thanks a lot, guys. The replay will go out about tomorrow, about 6 p.m. British summertime. We're in British summertime now. So you'll receive an email, and I'll put in there the 2 videos. So you can watch the forms one from last week, and you can obviously watch this one as well. And it's a bit easier when you're watching stuff because you can pause it and try it out on your system and then carry on forwards. Again, guys, got any questions, remember to put them on the Facebook group. I'll reply to them, tag me in there if it's something to do with this workshop, and I'll reply to them straight away. All right, guys, have a good evening, morning, lunch, whatever, and I'll see you soon.